So yes, let's bring
Fabian, what's going
Fabian
on? Unmute yourself. You've been unmuted. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
My guy, how you feeling? How you?
Man, I'm feeling amazing, man. Major blessing to be on the show. I'm a product of the free game that you guys been putting out, and I've been going crazy. We're really up.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So this part of the I told you so Ian segment that we're gonna start doing once in a while, right? So Fabian's been in Doge for. Are you? Well, I won't ask you how many coins, but are you comfortable saying what price?
Yeah, of course. So I got in at it was like 0.003. So it was like 2 decimal places less than a penny when I got in like 2019.
So Ian,
Okay.
that defines it as a micro coin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you're still riding it now, or did you take profit recently?
I took some profits, but for the most part, I'm riding out. You know, I took profits mainly to reinvest in some other up and coming opportunities that I saw, you know, that have a lot of potential. But yeah, just everything I've taken out is gone right back into the market. So nothing personal yet. Still delaying the gratification. Shout out to you guys.
I appreciate you. So when you got into it, what made you like it? So everyone has FOMO, right? And you got in at a phenomenal price. So for all of you who like, yo, Ian, don't ever say you're wrong. I have, but when I was talking to my guy, I'm like, yo, I got to bring you on so you can gloat in my face. But at the time, what made you like it? And then how did you determine what price you were going to get into it?
So initially it was really just like a common sense play. I'm looking at, you know, I got it on Robinhood, and it was literally the cheapest crypto on Robinhood. So when I got it, I'm looking at it like, you know, this is 2-3 decimal places less than a penny. You know, I feel like a conservative goal there was, you know, it'll hit a penny. Then, you know, pretty much from there, you know, the rest has been history. But, you know, it was just patience, and I would say foresight. You know, looking at, you know, it's about 9 cryptos on Robinhood, and I'm looking at, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. They don't trade it, but they, you know, show it on there. And I'm just looking at this Doge just like pretty much so unfairly priced. And, you know, we know from, you know, just studying, you know, like Warren Buffett from the value investing perspective, I'm like, this is lower than it should be valued, especially if it's on Robinhood, one of the, you know, mainstream platforms.
When you say it's lower, just for people, I know it's always going to be critics, lower than what it should be valued, but what is Dogecoin's value? Like, why should it be worth anything, in your opinion?
So in my opinion, it should have been a higher value than it was simply because it was listed on Robinhood, which I felt like was, you know, the biggest, most mainstream platform. So when I'm looking at that and seeing that it's not even at a penny, I'm thinking that, you know, as the market starts to pick up with this being such a mainstream platform, people will, you know, roll in at some point. Like this thing pretty much either has to hit a penny or it's just going to like fall off and not exist anymore. So I feel like it was a pretty low downside risk in terms of where I got in, being so less than a penny, you know, and it's just like the risk to a reward ratio, like Ian is saying, is just, you know, it was a no brainer, especially with me, you know, being only 27. I'm like, you know, I mean, hey, you know, worst comes to worst, this might be a little early retirement. I might be able to bounce in, you know, 3 years instead of 10 or, you know, whatever. So I was just looking at it more like a retirement plan initially getting in.
Yeah. So that's interesting because I remember before it even got to Robinhood, we were sitting in my house a few days, and we just like, listen, if this thing goes mainstream, Coinbase only had 6 things that they were trading. We saw Robinhood was coming. We're like, all right, this is going to be big. Once it gets big, everybody's going to adapt to it. So you said you took some money out and you stayed inside the market. Are there plays that you're inside right now that you want to
share? Good question. Trading has considerable risk.
All of I can't get a whole playbook, but we got big into the Doge token, which came up under the Dogecoin, which actually went crazy as well and hit that penny mark. Another one that I'm interested in is NFT art. You know, with the crypto space so quickly expanding in terms of market cap, as well as the number of coins. I think it was around like 4,000 something in January, and now we coming up on like just under 10,000. So, you know, I feel like ticker symbols is going to be really, really big in this market. And NFT art, I just feel like it's something that, you know, it just feels right. Also, you know, looked at the white paper. I like the idea. Feel like it sort of has the opportunity to potentially be like a Apple Music of the space. Really, really big total market cap. You know, you guys touched on that. I think it's like 100, or don't quote me, but I think it's either 10 or 100 quadrillion total shares. So I feel like that's the piece of the market that's going to lead to the eradication of the middle class, because the valuations of these cryptos are going to keep skyrocketing. Like when you have, that many shares, even if it's a penny, like you're saying, it's these crazy valuations that don't make any sense. But, ultimately it's going to be, you're going to get on board or you're going to get left behind.
Yeah, and I feel like that's happening right now. When 2017, when people laughing, Dogecoin was a joke. 3 weeks ago, somebody told me about Shiba. Shout out to Jatali.
Yeah, she.
So
Yeah,
now
she took
Shiba.
off.
I mean, you want to talk about something? We talk about microcoins under a penny. We're talking about something that, and I just show Shai, it's up 36,000% in 30 days.
Yeah.
I mean, when you talk about like the less than a penny perspective, like when you're able to get in at less than a penny, you can get like hundreds of millions of shares for, a few thousand.
And that's
what
I think,
if you're at let's get a simple example. If you're at 100 million shares and you hit a penny, you have 1 million per penny.
right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's really that's sort of the system. Like, we playing like Shark Tank at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of
the next one.
That's kind of the community builder in a sense. It's like, wait, we can get this thing under a penny. Everybody, let's go get this thing under a penny. And so it builds a community. Like, it was a joke. When I first saw it, it was like the 147th ranked coin. Today it's at number 16.
It's the same thing that happens with Safe Moon, the same thing that's happened with Doge, the same
And
thing.
it happened with Come Rocket and everything else.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
The reality of it is that we live in a space where social media runs the world and the internet runs the world, and things go viral. Like, dances go viral, lyrics go viral, and now cryptocurrencies go viral. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter what the use case is. It doesn't really matter too much. And hey, I mean, you can argue it, but I mean, it's going up. And
yeah, I think Doge is the only exception. Like, I feel like it's going to open sort of a Pandora's box for, just like you're saying, a lot of these meme coins that don't really have any value or aren't really tied to anything. But I feel like now, especially like after the SNL, and now that they've announced that they're going to do a Doge One mission with SpaceX that's going to be fully funded with Dogecoin. I mean, now Dogecoin is pretty much the only way that you can invest in the #1 private space company in SpaceX.
Well, that's because the revenue isn't strong for now. He's great. Now the SEC finally made him put something up on Twitter, but the way he's able to manipulate a market, I guarantee if it was anybody else, they'll have him in handcuffs. Now, he is the golden boy, but he has to be very. Now he's also strong legal team, and then Tesla and the Vent. So you guys gotta go through that chain of Angel, who backs him via venture, and that helps a hell of a lot. And then also a lot of advisors that he have are former SEC as well. But just because, and I'm not telling you guys what to do, but you still have to know when to get in and when to get out. The reason that I found very interesting with you had done your homework, but you were basically doing what all the hedge funds were doing in GME and AMC, is that you were getting in at such a low price that eventually you knew that the rotation and community and volume would happen and it would take off to the upside. You will lock in some profit and then let it run from there. So I thought it was a great retail play on what the hedge funds were doing early this year and late last year.
Kudos to you, young man.
We have 8,000 people on YouTube, 8,100 actually. If you guys can like the video, please, that would be greatly appreciated.
I would appreciate it.
I think that Elon Musk at this point will not let Dogecoin. He's going to do everything he possibly can, and I feel like I mean, it's so synonymous with his name right now that he's a very prideful person, and he's everybody has a certain level of arrogance, but when you've reached that level of success, you have to. It's like Kanye West, so he feels like, all right, I can make this bigger than Bitcoin.
And what if some of the people that he's invested with, and I mean, I'm not saying that Chamalta Calacanis is, but what if some of the people that gave him venture capital money or angel money are currently invested into it, and then I don't know, shit, maybe Kathy maybe.
I mean, a lot of people. I mean, you look at Mark Cuban. Yeah. He came on EYL. He's accepting Dogecoin for Maverick tickets. I mean, Dogecoin probably gets more accepted in more places than Litecoin. So, I mean, you have the hardcore crypto fanatics that say it has no use case, but I mean, it's being used more places than 95% of cryptocurrency right now, maybe 99% of cryptocurrency.
But even with that, isn't that, like, I love the hustle in it, but isn't it, we talked about it last week with Jim, isn't that slight usury though? I love it,
Yeah, I
But
mean the whole world is though, right?
that's a good point. That's it. I just want you guys to be able to see, because if I charge you for an iPhone and it's $500 and you give me 500 worth of crypto, but in 3 years it's 38,000, was that a fair exchange? Now Mark's a hustler. You know, I love Mark. He went to IU, like Supreme, the things that people see in Jim, Jeezy, I see the same thing in Mark, because it's the same. Him, Gary are built the same way.
Yeah.
But you guys have to be mindful to keep hold of your assets if they could grow over time.
That case point that you said is exactly what happened with Bitcoin from 2012. I think a gentleman, probably in Florida, he bought a pie of pizza.
But
it cost him $18,000.
But at this point,
probably more now.
I don't think anybody's really. I don't think anybody will buy tickets with Dogecoin. I think when they say that, it's just to boost morale and just to give it credibility in the space. If you have any level of intelligence, why would you buy Maverick tickets with Dogecoin when Dogecoin is the hottest investment of the last 15 years?
Let me ask you a question. You got Instagram?
Do I have Instagram?
Yeah.
Yes.
We both see a bunch of stupid people on there every day, don't we? I'm just being real. Like, I think common sense is underrated. Not as many people have it as we think, especially for like the era that we grew up in. So, but
yeah. Well,
let's take one more.
Appreciate you, brother.
Brother, I appreciate you and congrats. This is his last day working, so I'm proud of you.